Hi, welcome to String Theory with your host, Anthony Douglas. I'm your host, Anthony Douglas. At any rate, we have some things that I've been thinking about here. And some things I'd like to see happen, I think, in the future. I don't know. I'd like to do maybe a Route 66 or a highway series where I'm going out in front of motels and I'm playing and some old historic places. And I think that would be a lot of fun. I think I'd enjoy that a lot. And other things that I've been thinking about lately, also maybe giving my input on those that want to get into the music business. You want to be a picker. You want to be in demand. You want to be in multiple bands. You want to have all the cool situations in your town or where you're staying. And let's just talk about that for a while. You know, as a lot sorry about that. As a lot of you know, I've started in the professional sector, really back in 81. I think it was more toward the end or the winter of 81 when I started going into jam sessions, going into bar rooms. I probably was 12 years old at the time, going on 13. And that's really what I want to talk about, because people might say, well, you got to get yourself out there. You've got to promote yourself. You've got to do this. You've got to do that. Yeah, it does take legwork. And you do need to have what it is that the people want. That was my first time reinventing myself. As I began to play a lot of classical music in the 70s, from 76 to 81, I had a really good idea of how that was supposed to be performed, what my job in a string symphony would be, what my position, what the conductor expected out of me. And I had formal training going into country music and rock and roll right after that. Going into those styles of music, there was a lot of improvisation. I can't say the word. Improving, making it up as you go along. There was a lot of that going on in the music, as far as ad-libbing, filling in between the vocals, and doing it how people wanted, without having sheet music to go by, or a real set way of doing things. Most of the people did not have a formal education in music, so I had to work around that. I had to, use the kind of language that they would understand and try to get on the whatever level they were on to make their dreams come true. So I went to a few jam sessions when I was 12 and wound up getting in a band really, really quickly. I enjoy talking about those earlier times because I really put a lot of work into it. And with all the work I put into it, it didn't take me long at all to get work. I mean, in that day and age, if you had what people wanted, I mean, you were on the bandstand quick. You didn't need the computer. You didn't need YouTube videos. You didn't need all this stuff that we have today. You just had to get up, showcase yourself, and bam, you're in a job. It was kind of like that when I came out here to Arizona too. When I started doing shows around the area and performances, jam sessions, and we'll be talking about that also, exactly what happened in the earlier days when I went and came into Arizona and how that all came about. But at that time there was a lot of work here, and I got in quick. I had been in Vegas before that, and that was just over entertainment. Everybody was over entertained in that. I think if you've been to Vegas, you understand. There really wasn't any people had let me know that they weren't giving away free entertainment anymore. They were paying me in the 90s, I think, $100 or $200 or $150 a show, and I think it was $100 a show. I think I was doing $100 a show, and I think it was 3-4 times a day. You add that up, that's a considerable amount of money. The dollar went pretty far at that time, and that's when I was in the 90s, when I was doing a lot of stuff in Vegas. And it was cool. You get to go to your gig. The hotels would put you up, give you rooms, nice rooms. You would get comp tickets to Kingdom Come. I mean, it was just, you go to their buffets and eat in a casino, and I mean, food just plastered everywhere. Just food I mean, we would just eat like you can't believe. And which was cool. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed eating a lot and getting all those comp tickets. I'm surprised I didn't weigh 1,000 pounds, but I actually came off the road. I'm over 6 foot. I think when I came off the road, I was 110 pounds. I used up all the energy. So, but they would seriously want to feed us all the time. And so you get your room, you get your meals. I had a sound and lighting manager. I had a road manager. I had people doing everything for me at that time. And that was great. It was a good experience to have all that. Now in this town, if you're going to ask me what is easiest or best, it would be, I mean, if you're going to ask me what is easiest or best, Is going on the road best? Is being in a town like Phoenix the best? Where I'm at now. And that's a hard question. I'll try to answer it. I mean, if you're the kind of person that loves to live out of a suitcase and you got to be on the move, all the time, then I think that that is going to be a good thing. If you don't mind waking up out of your bed at 2 o'clock when you're in Virginia and somebody saying, we got to be in Vegas, we got to be there in just a few days, come on, get your stuff, get everything out of your room, we're going now, and you're tired. I mean, if you don't mind that, living life in the fast lane, baby. If you don't mind that, that might just be for you. And every band is different. Every situation is different. You might have somebody that says, well, we never went through anything like that. Everything was very calculated or whatever. But my situation, yeah, it was, it just was, we were from one end of the country to the other all the time. I mean, it's just like you eat in one part of the country and you go to the bathroom in the other. But being in this town, Phoenix, I mean, it's a big city. I think we're the 5th largest city in America. I mean, it's big. And you can kind of go on a road tour right here, honestly. It's its own country. I mean, it really is. It's a big place. And when I first came out here, which we'll be talking about that quite a bit, but when I first came here, I mean, I had a Jeep, and I would go to a bar and work there all night long, and then go into their parking lot. I think it was Harold's. I was playing out there, and they have a parking lot up above, and I just got into my Jeep. It climbed hills pretty good, and I just went up the hill and put my blinders up and went to sleep. Slept till morning time. I think I came down into Harold's. I got a cup of coffee, shot some pool in the bar, got my morning mellow together, got everything going, and then started to contemplate my day, contemplate what it was that I was going to be doing. And I just lived life like that. I'd go from one bar to another, just stay overnight at the bar and go to the next bar, stay overnight at the bar and go to the next bar. There was no going home. There was no home. Home was where I was. And honestly, living life like that, there was a lot of freedom in that, and a lot of a lot of fun. I had a good time doing that, actually. And so, at any rate, I've been sitting here for, I don't know, an hour, waiting for a ride to come in. So I'm going to switch areas, and then we'll discuss some more of this in our next video. If you like what you see, hit like and subscribe, and we'll be talking at you later. All right.